Yeah, like over double.
He's excited.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Excuse me. I was watching it.
Oh no, is it me?
No, it's me. Okay, folks, I'm ready now.
Oh no.
I'm sitting here.
It's already messed up, isn't it?
I'm sitting here typing away, sticking peanut butter in my mouth. Hope you all had and still are having a wonderful weekend. For those that were able to this morning, if you went to a parade or whatever that your city may have done for Memorial Day, I know they do a thing at the big cemetery here in town for our veterans that lost their lives to give us freedom. So truly always be thankful for those who would have fallen, so we today have our freedom to mouth off and, be some nasty Americans, because some of them are. But
we also have also to Homestead.
But yeah,
to be able to have the freedom
and have our freedom to do this.
Yeah.
To grow our food and raise our own animals and do whatever. So I lost an uncle in World War II, I think, and he's buried over in France. So bless our troops, those past and those current. Jason, thank you. So anyway, now on with the show. We had a whirlwind weekend. Oh, Lordy. Ended up in Georgia, of all places, on Friday and had a fantastic time. For those of you that can arrange it next year, because this was the first annual Big Bear Meetup, they are going to do it again next year. Bigger and better. We had a riot. We just had a riot. Met some great folks. Brenda and her daughter traveled from Missouri. There was North Carolina, I think, and Virginia, and Georgia. We did miss the girls this weekend, but I was just told they had a fantastic time with their grandparents, so that works.
And since we're just stand-in grandparents.
Yeah, we're just a stand-in Nana and Papa, but we get to see them in a few weeks. And in fact, they are staying at Hotel Two Family when they're in Ohio. And then yesterday, from Georgia, we went to Tennessee and had a fantastic day with Southern Mama's coffee break. I had a fantastic time. I enjoyed myself. One couple came from as far away as Texas just for yesterday. So yeah, there's more of us nuts out there, I'm telling you. But anyway, so much for the weekend. Tonight is about the CITYSTEAD. Joshua. 3 awesome children, a beautiful wife, a greenhouse that you see him in a lot. So I think, what better way to get started?
And they're out of Michigan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, Ohio State, the Buckeye, Michigan thing.
It's that OSU, Michigan thing. I'm sorry.
But no, I'm not sure if he's ignoring us or what, but he's busy.
Yes, he is.
Right
here. He's not ignoring us. He's just busy.
He's busy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put him on the screen. So, folks, here is Josh, and he's going to work through this evening. And if you see, he's on his stage.
All right, live from Monday night. It's the CITYSTEAD on Two Family Homestead.
There we go. They're saying, I bet he's in the greenhouse.
I tell you what, when you're out of town a lot and you don't have a lot of time, and you got 3 kids, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tonight we're planning in the greenhouse while we talk to you guys.
Well, this will be the first. This is the first for us.
I am that far behind, so.
Yeah, you're right, Katie. That I think that is his favorite place to be.
Well, since it's his favorite place to be, describe to everybody out here your favorite place to be that you built, that you're standing in there. What dimensions and how long have you had it, and what's your plans? And
so this was my big undertaking last summer. I really wanted a greenhouse just so I could try to start seeds and stuff. And I got to think about like how to build it and time wise and all that. And when I found that Texas prepper style greenhouse, I was like, that's it. Like, that's perfect. It's like a few things, you slap it together and you're good to go. So that's what I ended up doing. It's just, and I got my cattle panels, the 16 footers straight down, just right to the ground. There's only a 2x6 running around the base of this thing. Now we're in Michigan, right? So we don't have a lot of storms or high winds or anything. I don't have to worry a ton about this thing blowing away like a kite or anything. So I'm able to get away with a little better stuff like that. If it was more like, Midwest or something, I'd have to lift it up so it doesn't flood and so it doesn't get blown away. But here we're lucky we got it down. It's 8 foot wide, which is I think what they built theirs. And then mine is about 14 feet deep. I used 3 cattle panels going all the way back. And the one thing I changed was that they wrapped the ends of theirs so that the plastic went around the outside, and I actually built like a hard wall back here with some plywood. My idea with that is I'm going to close it off on the inside here and probably put like a chalkboard paint or something on here so I can use it for like notes and, to mark down things I'm doing out here. So it kind of helped me keep track of what I got going on.
Do you have plans to put windows in those walls for ventilation in the summer?
There's actually one right here. I just got to get the hinges mounted to it. And then the front door, I just opened the front door, and it's a big, huge door in the front. So
Okay, so you're in the back of the greenhouse now.
yes, I'm in the back of it right now.
So did you do a how-to? Can people find videos of you constructing this?
I did like a series, and they're kind of like, it's not like a how-to as much as it's kind of like a vlog of the process I was going through when I was building it. I think I did 4 videos on it. I was supposed to do a 5th one that was like how much my total cost was, but I just haven't gotten to it yet because, I don't know, life keeps happening to me. So there is a 4-part series if you go to my YouTube channel about us building this. And mind you, I'm out here building it with, you know, a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. So, so it takes a lot longer than just if you were out here to slap it together in an afternoon, like 2 adults or something.
So did you get regular greenhouse type plastic for around the outside?
I did. I got greenhouse plastic. I just got it off of Amazon. And I think that was probably the most expensive part of this whole thing. Was just getting that plastic.
Josh, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want you to let you know that Green Dream Project told you to stop being a slacker.
I can't work as hard as him. I don't know how he gets the energy to keep doing all that stuff he's doing.
Well, there sure is a lot going on.
Water catchment too.
I know many parts of the country have had just the strangest weather this spring.
It has been.
How about up in your area?
Well, I think when I was making the promo video for this, I told you guys it rained, you know, like every day. So it's been raining nonstop. I mean, it's hard to get. It's actually just starting to sprinkle right now. I don't know if you guys can actually pick that up or not, but a little bit of sprinkling happened outside right now. It's just been raining like crazy. And I normally say like Mother's Day, I'm going to put stuff in the ground. But when it came to Mother's Day, I was looking at the weather forecast. And that week after Mother's Day, we were going to have lows of 34, 36. So that's pretty cold to be putting stuff outside yet. So I ended up holding off. And, you know, now we're here to Memorial Day, and it's just now like, I mean, it's only been one day, really. Oh, no, it's been a couple. I'm sorry. We had like 2 days in a row now that were like warm throughout the night.
Yeah, that
now, who knows what next week is going to bring.
That rain sounds like popcorn.
Does it really?
Yeah, it really does. There's a question here for you. Can this type of greenhouse be put on a cement patio?
Yeah, I don't see why not. If you built, you know, if you had the base for it, you could easily put this on a cement patio. Now, I wanted to plant in here, so that's kind of why I wasn't like putting any kind of foundation underneath it. So my ground is all dirt and wood chips, because I'm really hoping that, like, I'm going to put kale and stuff like that in here on one side of the greenhouse and try to grow it all winter long.
So you're actually going to grow in the ground in the greenhouse.
That's kind of my thought process, is that I just got to find a way to heat it just a little bit to keep it so it's not super cold. And then, yeah, I want to see if I can grow something in here over winter. And I'm thinking kale is like my best shot, right? Because it pretty much will grow in anything.
Well, I knew you were working on your heaters for your greenhouse. I don't know if you got that all lined up for this coming year or not, but I know you were working on some flame heating and ceramic pot, radiant heating. So, you all good to go on that?
I was doing experiments to see if I could get anything to help, and then that polar vortex came through, and the polar vortex kind of proved that it doesn't matter what you do, the polar vortex rules. So all my experiments didn't do anything because that polar vortex is still dropped down so cold that nothing would have lived or survived through it. So, and it seems like we've been getting one of those almost every single year now recently, which is just, you know, not good for us growers.
Gemini Homestead is asking you, how warm were you able to get your greenhouse this past winter?
So the warmest I had it was, there was the little time there where it was like in the mid 20s, and this thing during the day, if it got sunny out, it would actually get up to about 45, 50 degrees. So it was actually shockingly pretty warm. The problem is that once you got into nighttime, it just dropped right back, and it's pretty much what it is outside. It might be a few degrees warmer in here, but the biggest thing I found was that it just cut down the wind. So like when it was 32 degrees outside and you're like, oh, it's cold because the wind's blowing, I could come in here and it was like somewhat comfortable.
What about, and I'm just curious, have you considered using some sort of, I'm going to say solar heat, hot water heat, anything like that?
I've considered everything. Probably what I'm going to do is the black water barrels. I'm going to try that and see if that'll do anything over this next winter. And then beyond that, I was thinking like a solar air heater. I'm not sure how well that would work if it's cloudy during the winter days or anything. And it's still mostly about, okay, you can heat it up during the day, but how do you keep it warm at night? Which would be like where the water barrels would come in, some kind of a heat sink, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's kind of like I really like the solar air heater, and it seems like on good days that thing can really cook up some heat. If I can find a way to retain that heat just to keep it somewhat warm at night, then I would probably go with that route. But I plan on building one and experimenting to see what it does. That'll be this winter. I didn't get as many experiments as I wanted to get done. I only got a few of them, so we'll be back at it again next winter.
Yeah, I see Gemini Homestead is saying thermal mass, and that's what you need. You need like big bricks and rocks and stuff that once it heats up, it retains that heat and slowly releases it.
I agree.
Atkins, was it Atkins? Oh, never mind. That was for a question for somebody else. Okay.
Lazy Acre Farm said that their black 55-gallon drums froze when it got into the teens.
Did it? See, I've heard different things, so it's hard to say, that's what I wonder too, because if it gets cold and they freeze, now you're just creating an ice block in your greenhouse, and that's going to work the opposite of what you want it to do.
Yeah, I
so
think,
yeah, it's a trick.
Yeah, I think what you'd have to do is you'd have to set it up to gather the heat somehow on some small tubing or something, get some radiant heat. So you're going to have some sort of circulation, and with that, you're going to have to put antifreeze in it so that it can't freeze.
Yeah, Daryl, you are a smart man. I wasn't even thinking about putting antifreeze in the water.
Scary, isn't it?
Only a married couple would make that joke, huh?
That's right. We're the only ones allowed to do it.
So what?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
What are you planning? No, you said kale. You're going to put that in the ground. Are you going to use this also? I mean, are you going to build tables in there for seed starting and all that, or is it just all going to be in-ground food in the greenhouse?
No, I got a table over on the side here, and it's all kind of stacked up with greens right now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got like 10 trays over on this little table I built on the side. So one side is going to be like my prep seed starting area, and then the other side is what I hope to utilize to actually try to grow something in the winter.
I know it was back here somewhere. Mary's Organic Garden Journal is asking, what if you sink the 55-gallon drums in the ground?
So I did see, I want to say, where was that? I want to say Colorado, but I feel like that's wrong. Somebody probably knows. But there's that guy who did the thermal heat for the greenhouse, and he's growing like citrus in a zone somewhat similar to mine. I think he's a couple down. It might be 5A or something like that. But he's growing citrus, and he uses the geothermal to heat his entire greenhouse, and he's got a pretty good-sized greenhouse. So I was kind of looking into, like, could I create some kind of geothermal, heat in here if I dug through, like, my walk paths of my garden and put in some underground hose or not. So that is something I would definitely consider doing, because I think that would be probably the best way to do it. And then this thing would just stay the same temperature almost all the time, right? Which is really what you would want.
Yeah, North Star Prepsteader has actually even thrown a link in here to check out a Nebraska greenhouse for some geothermal.
Nebraska, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I watched that one over and over and over because I was just like, trying to build it my own in my head when I was watching it. And I'm like, can I do that? Do I have enough room for that? I mean, that would be a pretty massive undertaking, really. Well, he's got a huge one, so he has to have a lot of tube. Whereas with a smaller one, I could probably get away with a lot less tube. But you also got to make sure you have enough to keep it warm enough.
Yeah, Prepared Christian. Some of these zones are crazy because I was chatting last week, I think it was, or reading some posts, and they were across the other side of the United States, and they were in like zone 5B or 6C or Z or whatever the stupid zones are. It's like, wait a minute, that's the same zone we are, and we're in Ohio. But whatever works for you, I guess. It's just crazy the way some of these zones are.
Yeah, Custom Garden Solution is also stating Curtis Zone has some good stuff on thermal greenhouses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's a way to do it. Enough determination.
There's definitely a way to do it. I mean, people are doing it, so there's some way of doing it.
What are your top 4 vegetables you plant for your short summer?
Well, we actually can grow quite a bit. Surprisingly, I mean, I can grow okra, so I mean, we got a good season. But the things that we plant the most in our garden would be Swiss chard, because it's a quick turnaround on that stuff. Chop it and it grows back really quick, and we use it for everything. Like, you can cook it, you can eat it fresh. We use it in our salads, throw it on burgers when it's like the younger leaves, so. You can use that for a ton of stuff. I really like Swiss chard. Another one that we grow, just like some kind of runner bean or a pole bean. Easy produced stuff, that we use relatively often. We've been pickling them a lot and making dilly pickles or dilly beans. Sorry. So we definitely like beans. Let's see, what else do we grow short season wise? Cucumbers, because I got little kids, and that's one of the only vegetables I'll eat. So, and you can get some cucumbers that'll grow pretty quick for you and start producing. And oh man, if I had to pick a 4th one, that's hard. I know I did a video too on like what are my top 5 favorite things to grow, and I'm drawing a blank. I mean, peppers. I grow a lot of peppers because I like peppers. So I guess I'm going to say jalapeno pepper. Well, people probably think that that's the long season thing, but I don't have a problem growing them through the summer, and I can start them from seed and get them. I mean, I'm getting them a lot later in the year, and my season's probably not as long for harvesting, but I get enough of them that I can freeze, I can pickle them, I can, use them all sorts of different ways. Stuff them, wrap them in bacon. You guys are making me hungry now.
So share with the folks, if you would, about your property. Where not only where you live, we know it's Michigan, which is, the Ohio State, Michigan thing, but
you mean that state down south?
that state up north.
I mean, that's that state that 2 of my dogs live in now.
Just know that I stop for gas at the border before I cross.
Well, considering they added 10 cents a gallon here in Ohio, I don't blame you.
Yeah, but I will say we're not considering building a wall or anything.
Oh Lord!
Well, you might not. We are.
Oh, there we go.
I feel like I should have worn a Michigan shirt now.
So
our property, we have it's just under a half acre. Basically, it's a half acre, and it is a very long lot, and it's kind of skinny. So I want to say it's 25 to 30 feet wide, and then it's, the rest of the way is just deep. And our house actually sits really close to the front. We probably got about 10 feet out to the curb from the front of our house. So our back area is pretty wide open, straight back. We got like one massive tree in the middle of the yard, and everything else is actually planted all along the fence line on the outside. So really, we had a lot of natural sunlight in this backyard already, besides that one tree. So our yard is kind of set up to have a really good garden space right behind our garage here, which is where my garden is. And then, yeah, I mean, it's a good lot. It's just nice rectangle, you know, there's nothing.
So is this like in town? Is this like in town, or is it on the outskirts of town?
Yeah. No, we're in town. We're like kind of like in the heart of our downtown. You know, we're a small town. It's not like a massive city or anything. It's not, you know, the size of Detroit, but we're in our town. We can walk. The library is like 2 blocks away. We walk down there all the time. We can walk right to our downtown and be there in 5-10 minutes, depending on how fast the kids go.
So with your building of the greenhouse in the backyard and your planting and stuff, are your neighbors looking at you strangely?
Okay, so oddly enough, nobody said anything. We do have a neighbor who has chickens that butts up to our back corner. I've never actually looked at any kind of zoning laws or anything like that because I'm not like getting animals quite yet. I'm not at that point. But as far as the garden goes, I see a lot of other people kind of have gardens. But there was they wrote an article. A lady saw us on some group, and she contacted me about writing an article for the newspaper because it was kind of about different styles of living, you know. And so after she published that in the newspaper, I actually met a few of my neighbors. And they were like, "Oh, we saw that article. Are you the guy?" And they're like, "We really like what you're doing in your yard. We wish we could do something like that." And I was just like, "Well, you can." Like, nobody's saying you can't, you know? So, but yeah, I got to meet a few neighbors because they actually saw what we were doing in the newspaper and actually really liked it and were very interested in it.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I really got a kick out of that.
I think you should do a video on that and share that.
Look at that. I need a pen and paper. I'm going to have to go back over this and watch it later. Write down all your good ideas.
So,
all right.
So you've indicated you don't have any desires to get cattle, pigs, chickens.
I have desire to get some livestock. I'm interested in like quail and rabbit, bees. I really, really want to get bees. I'm like waffling back and forth on the bees right now. I still have a chance. So there might be bees coming to the homestead this year. It really just depends on if I get my area cleaned up and prepared and ready to go in the next couple of weeks. And other than that, yeah, rabbit and quail is something I'm really interested in. I'm not so interested in chickens. I think they need more space than like what I really want to give up to livestock. But yeah, like cattle, pigs, that stuff's kind of out of the question for our yard. I wouldn't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen.
So if you wanted to expand, is there available area to do that? I mean, could you buy more, or is your desire to stay where you're at, or is your desire to use what you have here as a stepping stone and maybe get I'm going to say the gentleman's farm, 7 to 15 acres out in the country somewhere, or where do you hope to be?
We're probably a little bit different than most people because most people start this with the end goal of buying the big acreage and the lot and living out in the country. And my wife and I both grew up in the city, and then we both kind of moved out into the country when we were like middle school age. And we both kind of didn't like it because you're just far away from everything. Like if you run out of something, that you need, the convenience of just running to the store 2 minutes away, as opposed to like almost planning an entire day trip to go to a store and get it. Like it doesn't really, I'm not really interested in that. I kind of like convenience in my life, which is a little odd, but I kind of just want to see how far we can push what we're doing here, to just how much food we can actually produce on what we have. Obviously, I know we're never going to get to the point where we're producing 100% of our own food or anything, but if I'm making a large dent in it, I think I'm doing a really good job. And I'm just re-envisioning the urban landscape, the idea of just mowing grass to mow grass. Like, really, that's what I want to fight that.
So have you gotten into the canning, the preserving, the fermenting, and?
Yep. So this will be our 3rd year into canning. My wife, a couple years ago, we always had this thing because I would plant all this stuff and we'd eat it when it was fresh. But like, if I had to travel out of town or something, things might not get picked. She can't eat everything that's out here on, by herself with the one kid at the time. So she really wanted to, we got to do something with all this stuff we grow. And so she got into canning first, and she learned how to do it over that summer. She canned a bunch of stuff, and then she taught me how to do it in like the last 2 years. I've done more of a lot of canning, and she does a lot of canning too. She makes all the jams, and I usually do like the pickled stuff. That's like my thing. And then we got a dehydrator for Christmas, and yeah, we were dehydrating everything and anything last year.
Okay. Well, Josh, I'm going to let you just kind of get a little bit busy here. We're going to take a quick break for a trivia question. And
all right.
And tonight, let me share this. We have got a very special prize that's going to go out to our trivia winners. These are what do you call what this
I
is?
would call them patches.
Well, yeah, it's like a patch. These are handmade by Brown Coat Homestead. And the winners of the trivia questions tonight will be getting one of those with your name. It's kind of it's not embroidery, it's
Almost like cross stitch.
cross stitch.
And Brown Coat Homestead, you're in the chat. So if you want to expound on this a little bit more while the thing for the trivia is going on, feel free. Stephen from Brown Coat Homestead made these, and he sent Daryl and I 2 of these, and wanted to make sure that these were tonight's Memorial Day evening. These are the trivia prizes that he is going to send out. So he does this. When we met him at the HOA this past October, he made us a big one with Smudge's face on it, our logo, and it's like, yep. Whoa, blew me away.
Yep. So it's pretty neat little prize for tonight, and I see he says you can get it in any color that you want. Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's go ahead and get Smudge out here, and he can explain the rules of the trivia time.
Hi folks, it's trivia time again, and we have to have some rules for this, so they are as follows. Number 1, you can only win once every 4 weeks. Number 2, you must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it appears embedded on the screen here. Your chat window may have a different order. And number 3, you have to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so we know where to send your winnings. Good luck.
Okay. And just in case you folks didn't catch all that, it's real simple. The official order is on your screen. The chat is embedded in the window. That's the official order chat. So once we say what the question is, whoever types the correct answer in first is the winner on this screen. Your chat at home could be a totally different order. That's due to the internet and latency and all other sorts of things. So the official winner is what you see on the screen here. So having said that, if everybody is ready, do we have them all ready? Okay. Question number 1 is, what is my 9 to 5 job? What is my 9 to 5 job? Now, this is Josh asking the question. Lazy Acres? No, that's not. It's in that field. There we go. Green Dream Project. Yep. Green Dream Project got it first. She Moved Mountains also had it right. It's a robot computer person or robotic computer programmer. So let's get him back here, and he can share with us a little bit what a robotic computer programmer does and what
Programs robots?
and programs robots.
I bet you that's what it is.
That
That was just a thought, Josh, you know.
But
Well, you pretty much hit it right on the head there.
so are the robots made in Michigan?
No, the robots aren't made in Michigan. So, I program industrial robots, mostly in the auto industry. Basically, my job is to pick heavy things up and put heavy things down. It sounds really fun and fancy, but sometimes it's pretty boring. Like, it's just programming robots. You know, they do different tasks that are mundane that, you know, they don't want people doing.
So,
It could be interesting, but it's a lot of hours traveling sometimes.
So this is in the automotive industry that you're tied to.
Most of what we do, yes, is in the auto industry. I mean, which is kind of natural, being that we're in Michigan and that's our bread and butter here, you know.
Josh, welcome to Chickenlandia, asked if you could make her a robotic chicken.
Well, see, here's the key thing. I am a programmer. I'm not the robotic builder. So I don't know how to put it all together. I just know how to make it move and do the things it needs to do.
Okay, so somebody else has to build the chicken, and you would just tell it what to do.
I can make the chicken peck and walk around.
Okay.
Robin's Nest wants to know what county in Michigan you are, if you want to give that away.
Yeah, I've said it before. I'm in Lapeer County. So we're a little east of Flint. It's the biggest city next to us, which everybody knows for their water. So I think everybody knows about where that's at.
Yeah, busy little house. He's the activation key. That's what he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Big Bear Homestead is asking, are you in charge of Skynet?
Not yet. They won't give me that promotion. I don't know why.
Okay, and folks, I've put the phone number up on the screen if you'd like to call in. When we do have a caller on the line, I can only take one caller at a time. So if we do not answer you, either somebody's on the line or somebody's on the line, so we can't take your call. But right now, the phone lines are open. The number is up on the screen. It's your nickel, and we have a caller. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hello, Daryl.
Steven.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going just fine.
How are you, Steven?
I'm doing good. Did everybody have a good holiday?
Oh, yes. And you?
Yes, I had some fun with my roommate and her friends. We went to a barbecue together.
Awesome. We went to a barbecue also. We had to go to Georgia to do it, but
Yeah, I saw the video.
we had fun.
Yeah, it looks like you guys had a great time. Glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to tell Josh, thanks for all the fun and interesting videos. I have watched every one on his channel.
Wow, that's awesome. I actually can't believe that.
Yeah, I finished watching all your videos over the past week.
Holy cow. I feel like I've made a lot of videos. You must have been stuck there quite a
I've
time.
got too much time on my hands. And
Well, I
I figured I'd
appreciate
let
it.
people know for like the next one, and also congratulations, Green Dream Projects. I'll put my email up in the chat, but just let me know what color they would like their channel name written in, and I will do it up, and they can email me their address.
Thank you, Stephen. Those are just, and then I just found out he does those by hand.
Yeah, I do it by hand. It's relaxing. It's my way to unwind at the end of a busy day.
Well, I know a robotic programmer that could probably.
Don't say that. People don't like when they think I'm taking their job.
Well,
Doesn't make me a lot of friends that way.
I appreciate you doing that, Stephen. That's an awesome
Well,
trivia
I
prize.
thought of Memorial Day, and I was like, what better prize to give out?
Yeah, just so it fell tonight. So, yeah, those are great trivia prizes. So appreciate that.
So that's a great
All
prize. But hey, can we give it to somebody else? Anybody but GDP? Why do they gotta win everything? Everything. They're winning all the time.
Some people just have that luck.
Yeah, I saw that he did very well in the seed that seed challenge.
And I'm not one lick bitter about it, I tell you.
We can tell.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go and let somebody else get on the line. Thanks for all the fun videos. I look forward to more, Josh.
Well, thank you for watching.
Take care, Stephen.
Take care.
All right, thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and so the phone line is open again for whoever it was that was trying to call.
A green dream project with that little emoji. I just don't think sorry is really what you're trying to say there.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hey, this is Jack and Jen from the Cyrus Homestead.
Hey,
Well,
Zach.
how you doing?
What's happening? I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Yep, it's the Stivers.
That's right.
All right,
We
let's
had to call in for our boy Josh. Josh, our big bro, our best friend in the homestead community. What's happening, my man?
Oh, just trying to stay busy working.
I hear you. Man, we just had to call in. When we started YouTubing, Josh was one of the first ones that we even really started to watch. And, man, it just kind of like that big brother aspect. And we just want to know when you're going to get back down here to Kentucky so we can actually meet in person for once.
Man, that was such a bummer. I was there for like 3 weeks, and I just never had the chance there. And then we kept getting like the weekends off, so I drive home obviously to hang out with my family. But yeah, next time I'm in Kentucky, we're gonna have to figure out and make sure that happens because that would be awesome. I'm hoping. I keep trying to get down there, but I can't always get the jobs I want.
Yeah, I understand that. We got to do what we got to do, right?
Well, Zach,
man.
Zach, we waved at you this weekend, but we didn't see you waving back.
It seems like y'all just always driving through Kentucky. We just keep our hand waving.
Well,
Yeah, but we didn't go up.
yeah, we
64
weren't.
this time.
Yeah, we weren't that close to Louisville this time. We came back up on 75.
Oh yeah, no, I know it's when you're out there traveling, it's hard to do many stops. Y'all know me. I'm not a big stopper. I'm a get there and let's get this thing over with. So I totally get that. But we're always waving here from the front porch.
Well, when they drive the other way, you got to wave out the back porch.
There you go.
Right.
As much as we've been going here lately, he just needs a turntable for his house.
I say you guys almost have a second residence down in that Kentucky area.
Pretty soon, Jason's going to have to, give us an acre or something to just put the camper there. Because
there you go.
Yeah, he has a very long driveway, so we pull the camper in, but then Daryl has to back it out. That's crazy.
Well, see, if you park it at the front of the driveway, who won't even know you're there?
True. No one can get in either.
So, well, y'all, we'll open the lines back up because I'm sure this phone line's about to burn up for everybody to get a hold of Josh here. But man, we love your videos. We love the greenhouse. You're part of the inspiration of how we built ours here. Yours and Two Wild Indians were literally the two that we really watched to get the inspiration for ours. So keep doing what you're doing, man. We love everything about you.
I like you guys too. So, and your greenhouse is way better than mine. I seen it in the videos there. I was pretty jealous actually.
Cool. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good rest of the night. We'll see you in the chat.
Okay, Zach, thanks for calling. You take care. Okay, that was Stivers Homestead. So the phone line is open again. Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please? Hello.
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 It's the president of Chickenlandia.
Ah, the president. Woohoo!
It's here.
So I'm just calling because I want to tell Josh something that he doesn't know. Yes, that's a flag. He is the first homesteading channel that I watched on YouTube.
Are you serious?
How about that?
Yes. Yes, I watched your channel first.
I had no idea that people even would find me.
I think I found you. I can't remember how I found you, but when I found you, I found Green Dream Project, and then I found Bobblehead, and it was just kind of like this avalanche after that. I just found everybody after that.
Man, you find a couple channels, and you get, especially ones that are linked up, and then next thing you know, you're in the rabbit hole, and you got, hundreds of subscriptions you're trying to watch.
Yes. So I want to clear something up.
Uh-oh.
So I sent you that flag, okay? And when I did that, a lot of people got mad at me because they also want a flag. But I only have like 4 flags, and 2 of them I have to keep for myself. So I have 1 left, and I wanted to have an extra.
Oh no, I got in trouble.
And I just want to say the reason I sent that to you is because, well, first of all, he has supported my channel for a long time, and also that every time, it seemed like for a while there, every comment he made was, when are you going to get a flag made? So it's because of him I had that flag made, and that's why I sent him a flag, if anyone else is feeling bitter about it.
Yeah, so all you people, back off of Welcome to Chickenlandia. Shouldn't talk to your president like that anyways. So back off, all right? I pushed it.
He pushed me over the edge. Uh-oh, Green Dream Project is mad.
You know what? That's
okay,
good.
That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much for your support. We love your channel in Chickenlandia.
Well, thank you so much for calling.
I love your channel, too.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, here we go again. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
There you go.
Hello.
Hello.
I wonder who this little voice is. Could it be Ladessa?
Yes, it is.
Folks, Ladessa is Big Bear Homestead's youngest daughter. And you're 11, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There you go, honey. Chat's all yours. Ask away.
Ask him a question. I'll try.
So, when you're using your greenhouse, why don't you use tunnels instead of keeping them in the greenhouse?
Like high tunnels or low tunnels, I mean?
Yes.
Well, because I don't have all the equipment to have low tunnels yet. That's why.
Okay.
That's probably something I want to do. I don't really have... my garden beds aren't really set up kind of for like low tunnels because they're all pretty small. They're like 3 foot by 4 foot. They just have a big grid. So to run the tunnels through those beds would be kind of odd. A lot of open space in the middle of them. What I am doing is when I expand out the back of my garden here, I am going to build a couple longer, smaller or longer, narrower beds, and I am going to try to low tunnel those. I do have some material that I just got earlier this year to do a low tunnel, but I don't do a low tunnel because I just don't have the equipment. I'm constantly buying and piecing together things as I can and as I go. So until we get all that, this was kind of like a quicker solution than setting up a bunch of low tunnels on all my beds.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to grow?
It's really hard to say. It's got to be Swiss chard just because that's what I use the most all summer long. So I plant a ton of Swiss chard and I just use it nonstop. I mean, we could have Swiss chard almost every single day.
Oh yeah, Swiss chard is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're saying you're in Michigan. Have you ever tried growing sweet peas?
Tried what?
She says she knows you're in Michigan. Oh, no. Have you ever tried growing sweet peas?
Sweet, yeah, we have some peas. We grow some peas. Well, I actually just built a little tunnel. So I got a bunch of like arched trellises out in my garden, but they're all like as tall as this greenhouse is, like over my head. So I actually just built one that is only about 5 foot tall, and I planted all sorts of peas on it for the little kids, so they can just come out here and pick them all because they do anyways. I never get to have any peas; they eat them all.
Yeah, those are Ladessa's favorite. She had them. They were just starting to come up when we were there the first time, and the pods were these little tiny things, and she was so proud. And I think, if we heard correctly this weekend, you tried some of those little tiny new pods. Is that correct, Ladessa?
I wasn't there this week.
No, I mean your dad was telling us, and your mom was telling us that before they were fully grown, you were already nibbling at them.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
And you were eating my sweet peas.
I didn't eat your sweet peas.
No, Ladessa.
Oh, I think she meant her father because he's over there snickering. I just know it.
Busted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've grown a lot more sweet peas and just peas in general this year because those kids eat them so much.
Yeah.
So anything that they like, I instantly plant like 3 times as much. And then I know for sure this year they won't like them, so I'll actually get to eat them.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to ask.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you in a few weeks. We'll see you in a few weeks, young lady.
You guys are going down there again?
No, they're coming up here.
Yeah, they're coming to a chicken factory.
Yeah, they're coming to Myers Chicken Hatchery in Polk, Ohio in just a few weeks. Mm-hmm.
All right, Ladessa, thanks so much for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye, honey. Josh, what seeds are you planting?
Right now I'm doing Mother Mary's Pie melons. But I've done some jalapenos, some Jimmy Nardello, red Malabar spinach, holy basil, broccoli rabe, and that's all I got planted so far in here. I did a lot of planting today, guys. I'm trying to catch up on my garden and get as much as I can in the ground today. I just was out here just barreling through a lot of work, and I was kind of exhausted right before we got ready to do this. So then I'm running around trying to get everything ready to get ready for this, and I'm watering stuff, and I'm just so when you work a lot and you travel out of town and you're not here to do the things you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's hard sometimes to find the time to get to do it. So anytime you get a chance, you just gotta power through it and get as much as you can get done. So that's what I'm trying to do.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? This is Nathan Sampson with Sampson Farm.
Hey, Nathan, how are you?
Hey, Nate.
Hey, Miss Sherry. Hey, Josh, how's it going? You going to defend your championship this year, bud?
I just planted all my okra today. I just want to say, if anybody's getting in on Sampson Farms challenge there, you're all going down. I might even do a video where I have a crown and a big king's robe, because I do have one of those for a Halloween costume. So I've been thinking about that. That might be coming out, my entry into your contest.
That would be epic. Yeah, I've planted some okra. I've planted some okra, but I still have a half a pound left to plant.
Holy cow! Yeah, you're planting way more than I am. I got a bed right now, and I'll probably do another one next weekend or a couple more weeks. Kind of stagger them a little bit. That's what I did last year. And that's how I got those massive pods. So I'm not gonna fight with that. We'll try it again. I actually still have that pod full of seeds, so maybe I can do my video with that one, and I'll plant them in the video.
There you go. That would be perfect. You know, the winning pod, planting this year's potential winning pod of red burgundy okra.
That's right. That's how you do it.
I see the gauntlets were on sale this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, since I'm running it, I'm not eligible to just, beat Josh senseless with growing okra. But
yeah, that does have its disadvantages, Nathan.
But,
well, you just have your
being a
wife run
southerner
it,
that
and then
I
you can be
am,
an
I feel it's like, my okra's on steroids anyway, and I wouldn't want to do that to everybody.
Okay, well, Nathan, is this so? Is this the thing that you're starting, Nathan? Is that what that is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so go ahead and share the information here with everybody.
Feel free to let everyone know what's going on, Nathan.
Unless you're afraid to have other people join in here. Now, I don't know.
Oh no, I'm not afraid. I need to do another video with the update because of all the severe weather. I'm going to push back the entry date to the middle of June. But this is the second annual Sampson's Farm Okra Challenge, where the contest is whoever can grow the longest okra pod or the tallest okra plant. That's and cool. Whoever's got the tallest and has video proof of them planting it and video proof of them measuring it, and they have the biggest, they're the winner for the year, and they are the Grand Okra Pumbaa for until the third annual Sampson Okra Challenge.
Okay, now Nathan, when they measure this for height, are they allowed to dig down to the bottom of the root?
Negative, ground level.
It's the pod, honey. It's the pod.
Well, he said the tallest plant.
No.
Oh, the plant.
You have a pod. You have a pod and the tallest okra plant. There
gotcha.
are two categories.
Okay, there you go. Now
because I have been able to grow okra plants over 10 foot tall in 2 months.
Wow. Mine was nowhere near that tall.
You'd have to cut holes in the top of your greenhouse.
I grew them outside.
Okay.
Although that is a good idea. I wonder if I could grow one in here.
Mm-hmm.
Where okra comes from in Africa, it's actually they let it grow for more than 1 year, but after that it gets so tall and so big around it's hard to mess with. But it keeps growing as long as the frost doesn't kill it.
I'll be darned. Well, it'd be dead in Ohio then.
Same here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Wildcat Hollow Farm is saying there are two kinds of people in the world: those that like okra, and the other 90% of us.
I'm in that 90%.
Well, I'm going to tell you, 90% are wrong. Okra is fantastic, and if you don't like it, you're probably not eating it right. That's probably the biggest thing. You're probably overcooking it like you do your greens sometimes. Don't overcook it. It'll get slimy. If you really want to know if you like it or not, eat it fresh off that plant, and I guarantee that you'll like it. It's really good, especially fresh. You just pop it off of there, and you'll be eating okra all the time. Yeah. You'll be singing its praises.
Yeah, Alec, obviously it is hot enough in Michigan because I'm just kind of getting the drift here that the champion's currently in Michigan.
That's right.
The current champion is in Michigan. But hold on, folks. I got somebody that wants to say something to y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Well, hello.
Temperance just wanted to pop on and say hi to everybody.
Okay. All right. So if they're
to the 90%,
if they're
as into the 10% of people who like okra, well, not all of us can be perfect. So that's why we have the other 90%.
So if they're interested in getting into this into this challenge, they should email you or just go to your channel. You'll have information there, or what's the best way for them to get into this?
It's very simple. Plant okra and contact me with a link to that, and I'll add it to the playlist for this year, and you'll be entered in the contest.
Okay, and you are?
What's your email address?
Samson Farms.
What's your email address?
SamsonFarms0@gmail.com.
Now, is that the number 0 or spelt out 0?
The number 0, the numeral.
So I want to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all heard it here. Maybe we'll get you some more entries in there.
I appreciate it. I love watching all these videos. We had a great contest. We had a great contest. Had a great contest last year, and whoever wins either one of the categories, I will turn you something on the lathe and ship it out to you.
Oh, and he makes some nice stuff. I've seen it.
He definitely does.
Yep.
Whether you want a honey dipper or a garden dibble or my new item, which are going to be wooden coffee scoops for your coffee pot, whatever I make, if you want one, you just let me know what you want when you win.
Okay.
All right, Nate, I'll let you know.
Nathan, thank you so much for calling, and we'll help promote your okra deal here.
All right, everybody. God bless. Take care.
Take care now.
Nathan.
Bye-bye.
That's good. I could use some new challengers. Maybe someone will actually be, close to beating me.
Okay, and with that, the phone line is back open if we have some more people wanting to either get into this contest, or if you've got something going on your own, you want to share that out. Ask Josh any questions, what it's like to be a Michigander.
Usually just cold.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hi, this is Linda from PG Nano Farm.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hi. Good. Hey, Josh, just wanted to say, I was expecting to see E and a baby strapped to your chest.
It is
What's
kind
up
of
with
late.
that?
Right now it's 10. I know these things can go late, and school is tomorrow morning, so I gotta get them in bed. They gotta go to bed.
I know, I get you. I was just teasing you. But I am calling on behalf of Welcome to Chickenlandia. And I think you need to get a coop that can carry 3 chickens. It's tiny. It won't fill up your space.
But there's already a president of Chickenlandia. There is not a president of Quaillandia.
Quaillandia. Should I be the president of Quaillandia? I can do that.
Come on, don't steal my idea. It's trademarked. It's trademarked. You can't take it.
So, Josh,
my parents have chickens, and it's a great thing. I kind of like the ideal of it, but I don't know if chickens are for me. I just don't. I don't look at them and get excited or anything. But I think the quail are really cool. My brother just got 4 quail himself, and so after seeing them, I'm kind of more convinced that quail are the better urban bird than chickens are. It's just, that's my opinion.
Quail.
Obviously, I don't even have birds, so you can't trust me.
Quail are cool. You'll be cool with either one. I'm just giving you a hard time. But you do need to tell Delia that Linda needs the last flag. Can you do that for me? It doesn't go to Jim. Jim wins everything.
Don't talk back to the president. All right?
That's right. It doesn't go to Jim. It goes to Linda. Josh, I really appreciate you.
Why 2 of them?
You're one of my best buddies on YouTube. I look forward to seeing all your videos. I really, really, really appreciate you, and you're so close, dude. You are going to be flying out of this world here shortly. So
let's see. It's not about that. It's mostly just sharing and having fun. Really, what I want to do
That's
is
right.
try to make a few people laugh once in a while, and I hope that happens sometimes.
It'll happen.
Your dad jokes can only go so far.
Dad jokes are the best jokes.
Yeah, you know, they are saying in the chat here to never trust a man that grows okra but doesn't have chickens.
Listen to Daryl. Just saying. All right, you guys. You guys have a good night.
Thanks for calling in.
And I'll see you guys later, all right?
See ya.
Sounds like a good one.
Okay, and I'm going to turn off the phones here for a moment. We're going to get the second trivia question taken care of, and then we'll come back with the phones again.
Well, hi, folks. It's trivia time again. And we have to have some rules for this, so they are as follows. Number 1, you can only win once every 4 weeks. Number 2, you must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it appears embedded on the screen here. Your chat window may have a different order. And number 3, you have to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so we know where to send your winnings. Good luck.
Okay. So, again, for those of you that maybe are new here tonight, the prize for tonight is actually a homemade flag. It'll have your channel name on it. They are done by one of our moderators in the channel here, Brown Coat Homestead, and he wants to do this for Memorial Day. And it's what do they call this? The
cross stitch.
Cross stitch. It's like a cross stitch is what I'm told. I'm just going to say they're neat. They're nicely done. So the winner of the second question here will get one of those. Just send us your email address. We'll get you in touch with Stephen, and he will hand make that and get it to you. So get this brought over. And the second question is, if everybody's ready, what are my 3 kids' nicknames? What are my 3 kids' nicknames? No, it's not Larry, Curly, and Mo.
Jen, three. Okay, not 2 out of 3.
Duck and Grey Goose for those people in Minnesota.
Huey, Dewey, and Peanut. No, that's not going to work.
No, Jason.
Cheesecake? No. Well, I thought this one would just go right away, especially with the one caller that we had. Kid 1, Kid 2, and Kid 3. No. Number 1, 2, and 3. No. E, baby, and sis. No.
Some of you were 2/3 of the way there.
Do we give him a hint?
Go for it.
There's a famous British rocker with this name. And if you're a Survivor fan, there's a really awesome guy on Survivor who can swim like a fish that has this name.
Small, medium, and large.
No, Jessica. Squid.
The British rocker once bit the head off of something.
Oh, yeah. Sure did. Wasteland Acres. Mr. Man, E, and Ozzy.
Yep. Wasteland Acres. Wasteland Acres. Send us your email to familyhomestead@gmail.com, and we will get you hooked up with that. And thank you so much for being here and playing along with us.
There you go. And thank you once again to Steve and Browncoat Homestead for
Absolutely.
the trivia prizes tonight. That was very thoughtful.
And also thank you to all of our moderators. We can never say enough about them. They keep track. They put links out. I mean, it's not just trolls they take care of, but they put links out and they answer questions for folks, and we appreciate them all very much.
Josh,
much respect to the moderators.
Josh, Wildcat Hollow Farm said Peoria, Illinois, 1982. He was at that concert that Ozzy did that.
Does he really?
Yeah. I just got chills. Not the thing I think I want to see up on stage.
Okay.
It's funny because that whole thing, he thought it was like a prop, I mean, who has a real live bat with them anyways?
Jeez.
Like, of course you would think it's a prop.
Okay, we'll put the phone back up for a little bit. We've got, 70-some people in the chat here?
Yep.
Thank you all for being here. Awesome channel out of Michigan. We forgive them for that.
You don't want to start back up with that again, do you?
Yeah, Wildcat Hollow Farm says, glad I wasn't closer to the stage. It was messy.
Oh, man. I can only imagine. How crazy.
Oh, yeah. I think that'd be worse than having watermelons thrown at you.
This has got to be accurate, Josh. Mama Bear Preparedness. I'm a recovering Michigander.
Oh, come on. Oh, I don't even know. You know what? Good. I'm glad you're gone. Get out of here. Go on. Probably live in some boring old state now. It's all flat and who knows? Boring. It's just boring. Michigan's the only state that's entertaining and fun.
Yep. The white picket fence. There's enough Buckeyes in here to say we really have behaved. You're right, Sky. You're right. Oh, Bare Hands Homestead. Michigan or Michigan State? That's a better question.
So, okay. When I did watch college sports, before I had 3 kids, I was a Michigan fan. And I don't know why, that's the team I rooted for. But I rooted for them forever. I want to say I rooted for Michigan for everything. Even though their basketball team stunk, I still watched Michigan basketball.
Hello.
I wasn't a, cross, fan. I'm going to be fans of the football team and then this. And I got to say, Michigan has been getting their behinds kicked in football. So I don't feel bad for not watching anymore.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hi, this is the Tinkerer's wife, Patty.
The Tinkerer's wife.
Yeah, hello from Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, we're another urban. I would call us a homesteader. We try to be as self-sufficient as we can. With the tinkerer who fixes everything, and me, I can grow everything. So, I mean, what more do you need right now? Yes. It's interesting here in Portland, but I had a question for Josh. Hey, Josh, by the way, thank you for being on tonight. This is great. You're one of my favorite channels.
Awesome.
Again, I'm amazed that people say that.
No, really, I love it. I really have enjoyed your kids being a part of it. I've enjoyed your arbor, the way your cattle panel arbors, the way they're a little different, and also your greenhouse that you made. It's just, I just love it, and I just really appreciate your personality. I'm a little nerdy, So I like nerdy people. What can I say? So my question is this: being that you are in an urban setting, have you found anything there to be particularly difficult to try and deal with as far as getting things set up, or any problems with your local municipalities or anything that might help other people that are trying to do the same?
So, yeah, I mentioned earlier in the show that I have not actually personally read through any of the laws or regulations of my city. I just kind of went ahead and did things. I'm a very kind of libertarian type person. Like, I'm going to do me, you do you. And as long as I'm not, infringing on your yard, then it shouldn't be a problem. Like, that's really how I believe. So I just kind of did what I wanted to do. And I obviously know I'm not going to be like, putting in like some kind of giant barn back here without getting, permission from my city. But as far as the things that I built in my backyard for my garden purpose, none of it is in the ground. And as far as I know, usually that is not a problem if it's removable or, can be taken off and it's not a permanent structure. You don't really have to worry so much about, permits and all that kind of things. Now, maybe there are some places that have that. I know my brother lives in a very uppity type city. He lives in Ypsilanti down by Ann Arbor. And he had looked into his about building a greenhouse because he also built a greenhouse. So I am kind of like a rebel, I guess. I just went ahead and did it. And, it's always, I think Curtis Stone is the guy I heard it from first, was that it's always easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. And I believe that's really a thing.
I think you're probably correct because I see a lot of people here kind of doing the same thing. Well, actually, not kind of. They are doing the same thing. So I just wondered, though, if there was anything in particular, but that's good to know. And I've seen people here, on the other hand, who've tried to do it and got into big trouble and had to completely take down what they had built, which is really pretty sad. But it's gotten a lot more. It's gotten a lot better here in Portland. I remember 15, 20 years ago, it was horrible trying to do things that were more like urban agriculture. And now it's like all pro-urban agriculture. So it's really great.
I think there is a movement. I think we are all a good part of that movement. Anybody who's like sharing things that they're doing and how they're pushing what they could possibly do with their backyard, it's kind of opening some eyes and giving people different perspectives. And I think we're really part of this movement, and it's really kind of gaining some, substance to it, to where a lot of people are saying, that is kind of crazy that we would care if somebody had a garden in their backyard. Like, who would care? It's not hurting you, and it can only really benefit your neighbors. I will put zucchini and tomatoes and stuff out on our front, a table out in front of our yard, and just whatever. You take however many you want. If you want to throw $1 in the coffee can, go for it. If not, it doesn't bother me. I can grow 1 million of them back here. There's no way I could ever eat as much zucchini as you can grow in like a 3 by 4 foot bed on our own. It's just impossible.
Yeah. The joke here is that that you don't let people see you put zucchini on their steps, or they won't be your friend anymore, because people around here grow so much of it.
I believe that's probably true.
Yeah. So, and my tinkerer is finishing up building our raised beds. We haven't gotten our garden in at all, so I'm just chomping at the bit. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. So all of you out there who don't have your gardens in, take heart. You're not alone.
Yeah.
I actually was working on a video today about that, about how you shouldn't be panicking. There's still time, and if it doesn't grow and give you the produce that you want, at least you have experience and have learned, what is possible and where you can go from there on, what you're going to do with your plants afterwards. So definitely don't be panicking. Don't be worrying. Just plant as you can. I do a lot of that. I mean, I'm out of town sometimes. I just have a lot of things going on, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. So I always got to keep in mind, I do get pressured a little bit from my own self, but at the same time, I got to remember that, I'm just doing what I can do, and I keep going and going and going, and it's just going to get better and better and better. And eventually we'll have it down to where it's a really good system. And we don't ever have worries about when it's going in or anything like that.
Yeah, patience pays the gardener for sure. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll get off here, so if somebody else wants to call in, they can do that. But thanks, Josh, and thanks, Daryl and Sherry. I appreciate what you do, too.
Oh, appreciate you
Bye-bye.
calling in. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Have a nice evening.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so I have a question for your garden. How would you define your gardening style? I mean, do you have do you use wood chips? Did you enrich in all the soil? Are you more of a raised bed type? We really didn't talk about it.
Okay, so my garden style has changed over the time. We originally started gardening like 8-9 years ago, and we just had like a small patch, and we just tilled it, and we'd plant things in it, right? And usually things would die, and it just kind of build back into the soil, and we would just do that over and over and over. Sometimes we'd make mounds and rows and stuff, and we did that for quite a while. And after that, we went to the raised bed system. So I put it in the raised beds on top of that soil. So all that soil under has actually been building for like 7 years. And then I put the raised beds in and started filling the raised beds with either dirt that I had to buy, or I do have a compost. Actually, it's behind the greenhouse here. And we got a lot of dirt out of that. And we used to do some tub compost bins, and we got a lot of dirt out of those. So we'd fill the raised beds as much as we could with compost, and then we'd take in topsoil and add it to it. So a lot of the raised beds, the dirt in them is only a couple years old, but it's all about the soil that's underneath those that we were working on that we didn't even realize that we were working on, because we would just till things under. If I had a bunch of squash plants out there, I'd just till them under, till the beans under. So for all that time, we were really building our soil without really knowing what we were doing. And then after I started watching YouTube, I saw the raised beds. And now I do raised beds with a little bit of back to Eden, because I do wood chips everywhere that's not a raised bed. And occasionally some of the raised beds will get wood chips. So when I go out there, there's worms all over the place. It's the soil in between is good. So everything under the surface is, old, really nutrient-rich soil. And then the raised beds, they're going to be doing their time to build back up to that. But I find that the roots grow straight through that little bit of raised bed down into where it's really good. And I think that's probably why we have such success that we do.
Do you do anything in the berry line, like blueberries or raspberries, blackberries?
So I've been trying to grow blueberries for a long time, and I have not had any kind of luck. Like, they're very slow going for me. They don't do very well. I started wood chipping around them. I've actually planted a couple in the middle of the garden just to see if that would help any. But what I did find was that I went to honeyberries, or honeysuckle, or hassopberry, I think is the other name for it. And it's like a zone higher than what we are, like a Canadian type berry. And it's like a blueberry. So I have some of those that I just planted last year, and they're huge this year. I can't believe how big they are, and they flowered out quite a bit. So I'm actually thinking about giving up the blueberries and going to those because they're producing. So this is part of finding your soil and what your area can do. I thought I would be able to grow blueberries because my parents grow them fine on their property that they have. They just don't seem to work for me here. So I found an alternative, and that's probably what we're going to go with. And we also do some foraging of some service berries that are in town along one of the roads. We went over there a couple years ago, and we picked like a 5-gallon bucket full of those. So that's another alternative to blueberries that grows in a colder climate. They're called Saskatoon berries. There's another name for that. They're like a tree or a bush. So I had to find something that was similar to the blueberry, and then I'm growing that instead of blueberries because it just does better for me.
Okay, and a number of the people in here have chimed in, that the blueberries need a more acidic soil. So.
Yep. Yeah, and see, that's another thing. It's like they need a different pH than almost everything else. So trying to grow them, it just seems to me like it's not worth it, especially with the limited space that I have. I'm going to pick something that is an easier plant to produce and can jive better with what I have going on. already.
Well, I'll throw a suggestion at you here. You can take a blueberry bush and plant it up beside your house as part of the decoration around your house, and have it acidic there. You know, so it's not actually in your garden. It doesn't have to be in a garden, and you can do a couple of those around your house and have your blueberries and eat it too.
That's a good idea, because I do want to do some edibles around my house. I probably going to do a lot of greens just out front. I want to acclimate people to it, you know, because I do live on a block that is kind of an older generation of people that mow their grass like every third day. So I don't want to just like start throwing a bunch of stuff out there and people just freak out and go, what's going on over there?
But you know, if it's an older generation, you may bring back some memories, and you may start a little movement in your area.
That is true, but I'm also worried because I go out there and I swear that people are mowing their grass almost every day. And they're out there spraying it with their weed killer, and I just look at that and I go, they do not like what I'm doing. They wish they were in an HOA, but we're not. And so but who knows? I could be wrong.
Well, and I suppose you don't have a lot of property, but do you have any fruit trees or any desires for fruit trees, or maybe grapevines or anything like that?
So I have close to 15 fruit trees on this property currently. We have 3 mulberry trees that were here, and they're on the outside edges. I planted an apricot, a plum, 2 peach trees, a pear tree. I have 2 Chicago hardy figs that I grow.
And a partridge.
What else do we have?
Use a partridge in that pear tree.
Yeah, I got a lot. I try to, change it up. I got a lot of different fruit trees. I got a Chinese chi, which is a Chinese mulberry type of fruit. I got one of those.
Oh, never heard of that.
Because I do like to push my zone and try to grow different things. I had a jujube tree also that I planted. And then I read this thing one time that all English gardens used to have a quince tree. So I bought a quince tree because I'm like, well, I got a little orchard. I got to have a quince tree. And then we're from Michigan, and Michigan is like the cherry capital of the world. So we definitely have some cherry trees back there also.
Well, I think you need to do a tour of your whole place and just show everything off.
I have done some last year. We did do a few little tours. I kind of broke it down into like the garden area, like the back, what I call the mini orchard or the backyard orchard. And then I have what I am deeming as my fruit forest that's kind of over on the side. And it's behind like my herb garden. So I got an herb garden, and in there is a bean tent. It's like an old wooden swing that we just strung some strings on, and we grow our beans there every year. And then we have a teepee that we built out of fallen logs that we found over at my parents. They have 85 acres. So we went down there and we found a bunch of fallen logs, hauled them all back home, and built a giant teepee. And we grow, we have grapes and Arctic kiwis planted on that. And they're doing pretty good this year. They didn't produce last year because they were just new last year. But this year we might get a chance at having some fruit off of that also.
Well, our latest addition to our fruit tree farm, it was a black Arkansas black apple. Right, that's what they're called.
Yeah. It's an apple tree, but Arkansas black is the name of the apple.
When we went to the first HOA 2 years ago in Virginia, we stopped at a fruit stand on the way home, and they had these, and the guy said they're like softballs. You can throw them as softballs and get hurt. So I bought a few, and they were the best. They were awesome.
Oh, for making applesauce and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just excellent.
So when we went to the shindig, we looked around. We found them at Walmart, of all places.
Yeah, since we were in Arkansas, we figured Walmart, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yep, they had one.
So on the way home, we stopped, and all of a sudden, Daryl's coming out of Walmart with this big tree, and I go, "Where are you going to put that?" That went home in the back of the camper.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I can't wait. I hope it grows.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks, the phone line's still open. We'll kind of hang on here for just a little bit longer. If any of you have any questions.
I'm sure they're getting tired of me by now.
I bet, because of our weather is real similar to what he has there, hardy kiwi would grow for him.
Well, I think he said he's got some
Did you say you have hardy kiwis
that's what we got.
HARDY.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we got 2 of them.
Oh, 2. Only 2. Oh.
I could get more.
Daryl, how many hardy kiwis did you plant, dear?
We have 10.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, and each plant is supposed to produce 200 pounds of kiwi.
It can produce 200
season.
pounds. Yeah.
And we have 10, folks.
Yeah. That is a ton of fruit if they ever produce that much. You guys will be swimming in that stuff.
Yeah. So can we say Daryl goes overboard? Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what else I have? I have 2 pawpaw trees that I'm working on.
Mine didn't grow. A friend of mine gave me some saplings, and they just didn't do squat.
Yeah.
Mine right now are probably about maybe 3 foot tall. So, and I think they're going into their 3rd year this year. And I was actually surprised at how well they've kind of done. But I did do it. I planted them in like the shade because they say that when they're young, they like to be there. So when they start getting big, the thing I have to think about is that I now have to chop down this giant black walnut tree that's right next to them, providing all that shade if I want them to take over.
Yeah. We had one of those when Daryl and I were first married. He was out at our other house with the lawnmower, the tractor, and mowing way back at the back of the house. And I'm at the kitchen sink. And all of a sudden, I just happened to glance up real quickly and saw this thing coming towards the window. And I moved aside, and a black walnut came flying that he hit with the tractor. And it came flying and hit the window.
Yeah. Francine, the hardy kiwi it's a vine. So I don't know that I really call it a bush or a tree. It's more of a vine. And I am told that they can, once they're established, they'll grow 25, 30 foot in a season. It's just
it's something like that, depending on what variety that you have.
And the other thing is that they are sexed plants. You have to have a male and a female, or else you don't get any fruit.
And your male can pollinate up to 9 or 10 female plants?
Yeah. We won't go there, but yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. There's a greenhouse not far from us that they open up every April and they close about somewhere beginning of June. They should be closing now for the season. And when they do that for the whole week, they have discounts. It starts at like 10%. The next day is 20%. Come Sunday, it's 90% off anything left in this greenhouse. Well, we went one year, fall, I think it was 2 years ago, and this elderly man had his rack full of all these hardy kiwi plants. So Daryl went over and asked him, because we didn't think you can grow kiwi here in Ohio. And the guy says, yes, these are hardy kiwi. You can grow them here and they'll do great. So Daryl went over and got a couple. Then he went back and got a couple more. And by the time we left the greenhouse, he had 10. So the entire width of our backyard, he built an arbor.
We have 100-foot arbor.
Mm-hmm. Yes, folks.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
But this greenhouse, you really have to take this in perspective. We've gone there when they've had these sales on the last day, and you can buy 12-inch pots, the hanging pots, for like 67 cents. And we would,
wow.
I would fill up a trailer, and we would come back home, and I would take them around the neighborhood with the tractor and put them on people's front porches, just to be nice to the neighbors.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are awesome. So I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. That's the best time to go shopping there. Is when they do that, and it's like on a Sunday morning. I look at Daryl and I go, "Let's go." Lord knows what we'll come home with.
Okay. Well, it is getting late. We've had a wonderful evening here tonight. We've learned a few things, and I think Josh has had a good time.
I'm always having a good time, usually. Try my best to.
I just checking here real quick. I don't think we missed anything that in the chat here. Folks, I want to thank each of you for being here.
Yeah, we're either committed or should be committed. After our weekend away, we made sure we were home by 4 today so we could be live here tonight.
So, and
maybe we're both.
I did pick up a tidbit of knowledge here over the
oh my gosh,
over the weekend. So folks, you know,
Brenda,
a few weeks
Brenda
ago,
Duncan, I know you're here.
A few weeks ago, I told you, I said, you know, just remember, folks, if you hold your nose, you can't hum. Well,
hang on tight, folks. This is coming.
Folks, just don't lick the fence.
Brenda's already laughing. You didn't have to say it, and Brenda was laughing.
Do not lick the fence.
If you want to find out the background of that, you chat with Duncan 1900. You can ask your daughter. Yeah, we learned that. We learned that when we were in Georgia. Yeah.
So, folks, thanks so much for being here. Have a wonderful week. Tomorrow night we have the
Tech Tuesday.
The Tech Tuesday, and we'll be back Thursday night with our
4-hour
promote the channel. Y'all have a wonderful week. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.